Hello, my name is Miss Melissa, and I am a teaching artist with the PACE program with the Acadiana Center for the Arts and the Lafayette Parish School System in Lafayette, Louisiana. Today, we are going to be learning about parts of a plant, and you're going to learn this by creating a flower out of recycled objects. Before we can make this recycled flower, I am going to show you two very important things, and right behind me is an example of what you're going to make today. First, let's look at a real flower. Now, this is a gardenia. This is a plant. I actually picked this out of my garden, and it smells really good. Now, do you think that this is an organic or a man-made object? Very good, you are correct. It is considered an organic object because it's a living being. It's found in nature. Okay, that's why it's in water right now. Now, do you know the parts of a flower? Well, there are three main parts. The top of it, these are called the flower petals. Very good. This is the colorful part, the part that smells really good most of the time. And then this long piece here that holds up the petals is called the what? The stem. Very good. And then look at, you can see the green leaf here. That's the third part. So we have the petals, the stem, and the leaf. So we're going to make these three parts of a flower today, just as I have behind here. But we're going to make our flowers with recycled objects. So what is recycled art? Well, recycled art is made from recycled objects. Do you know what a recycled object is? It's something that you were going to maybe throw away and that you actually kept it and reused it to make something new. Just like behind me, I have this flower. You're going to make a flower with me today, but with recycled objects. And so behind me, I have some pictures that came from this magazine, which is here, and I just posted them here so you can see them. These two artists from the United States of America decided to create art with recycled objects, and instead of using organic objects, they used man-made objects. And we're going to do something similar today. So I'm going to zoom in real close so you can see their artwork. Now you're going to be able to see the artwork up close created by these two women. Both of them are from the United States of America. And also both of these posters I went ahead and pulled right out of this Scholastic Art magazine. So if you open the magazine, you would actually see the same thing. Now, here is a picture of a famous artist named Maya Lin. She is probably about 60 years old now, and she likes to give people a different way of looking at their surroundings. Let's look at some of her 3D shapes, also known as spheres. Very good. She has one here, and one here. Now, two out of these three spheres are made out of, can you tell? Toys. Very good. And it looks like she recycled old toys. And then this one, she made out of these little plastic bottle containers. So imagine what you can do with your toys when you're done playing with them. If it's, instead of throwing it away, she made something beautiful. Now let's look at this artist. Her name is Madeline Weta. Now, when she posted her pictures in this magazine, she was only 18 years old. She was a student artist. Now she's probably about 26, I think. I'm taking a guess. Now, can you tell what she made her sphere out of? The material? If you were thinking colored pencil shavings, very good. And then let's look down here at her last two pieces of art. It looks like some glass Coca-Cola bottles that she used and created her half sphere with. And this one, I think, maybe plastic bottles. I'm not really sure. So I hope you were able to see these really nice pieces of recycled art. And I went ahead and put a circle on top because I thought it was very strange that they both use circles. And we are actually going to use circles today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the supplies that you will need to make your recycled flower today. You are going to need a sheet of cardboard. It could be from the back of a notebook, cereal box, but you're definitely going to need some type of cardboard, just one sheet. You're also going to need one sheet of construction paper, or even one sheet of white copy paper is fine. So I'm going to choose one. I want blue. Choose whatever color sheet of construction paper that you would like. You just need one, okay? You're also going to need a bottle of glue, a pair of scissors, a paintbrush if you have one. If you don't, you could always use your finger, and I'll show you later. You will need a napkin, a spoon or something to scoop small objects with. Now, these are the 3 recycled objects that we're going to use today. I have a handful of bottle caps, so if you have some type of bottle caps lying around, please get those. If you don't have bottle caps, you could always recycle paper and cut circles out of paper, okay? I also had a bunch of straws lying around. So if you happen to have any straws or something similar to this shape, you can get that. If you don't, again, you could always recycle paper. Paper is a good thing to recycle. And then I also had a bunch of beads lying around. So I have a handful of beads. And if you don't have beads, I mean, think about it. What could you use that's tiny? Because we want this tiny, shape, the size. What could you use in the house that you have that's tiny? Well, I thought of something. It's not man-made. This is all plastic. The bottle caps, the straw, and the little beads are what? Plastic, right? So instead of plastic, maybe you can use something small that's organic. The opposite of this would be something like rice or even beans. So if you don't have plastic beads, you can get rice or beans, okay? So go ahead and get your supplies, pause the video, and I will be right here when you get back. Now we're ready to get our surface ready to make our recycled flower. Before we put our paper onto our cardboard surface, I just want to make sure you understand that when I told you to get rice or beans in place of these plastic beads, what I meant was make sure they're dried. If you don't have this and you want to use tiny objects of rice or beans, make sure they're dried rice or beans, okay? Not cooked. Just want to make sure you know that. I want to be clear. Okay, so let's go ahead and put glue all over our cardboard so we can put our paper on top. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the glue cap, twist it open, and squeeze a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to just draw. I'm putting the glue cap on the board, and I'm going to draw the shape of this cardboard. And you could see it's a shape of a what? A rectangle. Good. Now I'm going to keep drawing. I'm just going to make smaller shapes as I go inside. And you're probably wondering, maybe, why am I doing this? Well, because I want to put enough glue so when I smear it with my paintbrush, it covers the whole area. And the reason why I don't want to leave it with lines to cover because it's going to show through. It's going to be bumpy. So let's smooth out all of our lines of glue with our paintbrush. Now, notice I'm working on a hard surface. You have to be on a hard surface, and if you have a hard surface, you might want to cover the table with something so you don't get glue all over the table. And if you do, you'll have to clean up, okay? So I'm smearing my glue all over the cardboard with my paintbrush. Now, if you don't have a paintbrush, you can use your finger, and you'll just have to go wash your hands, or, you know, clean your fingers with, get the glue off of it. So, but a paintbrush works good. All right, so that looks good. I smeared all of my glue. I'm just gonna set my paintbrush down, and you can wash the glue out with soap and water. You can have somebody help you later to do that. Now I'm gonna take my choice of construction paper. Now, I chose blue, but you can choose whatever color you want. And if you didn't have construction paper, remember I said plain white copy paper is fine. Even newspaper would be fine. Any kind of recycled paper you have, and you could just use the back of it. Anything. And you don't even have to have paper. You could just have cardboard, but I like the color. So you see that? I went ahead and pressed it. And then now what I'm going to do is cut the edges off with my scissors. Okay? So here we go. You're going to open your scissors nice and wide, and you want to get the paper way into the back of the scissors. So watch. I'm going to open and cut. Now I'm going to open it up and slide the paper back into the scissors and cut, open. You see that? All right, now let's keep going. I'm going to get this side. I'm going to take my time, open, close. I like, when I close the scissors, I like to slide the paper back in to the back of the scissors. See, all the way in the back. And there we have it. Now, and you can throw this away. You don't need the scraps. Now, my surface is ready, and we can start gluing our recycled objects to make our flower. Let's start making our flower petals first. So I'm going to use my recycled bottle caps. So get your recycled bottle caps, and we're going to glue everything on the bottom where it's flat. But let's go ahead and just place our bottle caps on our paper. I don't want it to stick off the page, so I'm just gonna, you know, play around with it for a little bit to see what I get. I want my flower to be in the middle. So if your flower is way over here and you want it that way, that's fine. Or on this side, if you want your flower petals there, but I want mine pretty close to the middle, and I don't want it to this to stick off the paper. So I'm going to put it as far as I can, maybe, and leave a little bit of space. Okay, maybe you can push it over a little bit. I think I like that. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing. Remember how to open your glue? Twist the orange cap, and I'm just going to put a circle of glue. Do you see that? I'm going to put a circle of glue on the bottom of every bottle cap. Let me move my napkin out the way. Okay, I'm going to press 2, 3. About 3 seconds I'm going to press each one, or even 5. Let's see. Circle of glue, just a little bit, not too much. And let's hold it down for, let's try 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Or I'll tell you what, why don't we count at the end? Because I have a feeling I'm going to bump my bottle cap. So just gently tap it, and we're going to press it at the end. Let's do that. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It could be a wobbly line of glue because it's on the back. Now, I have clear bottle caps and orange in the center. You could have whatever color you like. Maybe you have a pattern. Maybe you have blue and green bottle caps with a yellow center. It's up to you. Maybe the only bottle caps you have are the same. Or maybe you didn't have any bottle caps and you had to pause the video and go make a bunch of circles out of paper, and that is fine. Okay, so now, remember what I told you? We're going to kind of slide it around. I think I like this. Now I'm going to put my hands and press. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of felt it move. So yeah, with just a little bit of pressure, it's going to help these bottle caps stick. Now, if you put too much glue, I might have put a little bit too much, it'll slide around. And if you have a bunch of glue like oozing out on the side, you can just wipe it. Okay, so now this is kind of silly, isn't it? Because we know that real flower petals are not made with bottle caps, but that's okay. We're gonna have fun and make a silly flower with plastic objects, which is the complete opposite of a real flower. A real flower is organic. We're making one man-made out of plastic objects. So, what part of the flower do we need to make next? What holds up the petal? If you were thinking the stem, very good. And I think we should make a silly stem with some straws. I decided I'm going to use orange for my stem. Okay, so if you happen to have straws like this, you're going to see that it has this little piece in the middle, and you can pull up. So I'm going to pull up on all of my straws. Now you just may have, straws that don't have that little piece in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and it'll make them longer because I want to use as much as I can. Okay, so I'm going to take the straw. Now again, if you don't have straws, you could always use an object similar in shape or cut paper this shape, which would be like a thin rectangle. Now, of course, this is round. It's like a cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to put the stem up to my flower, and I can see I need to cut right here. So I'm going to grab my scissors. You still need your scissors. And I'm going to cut that piece off. Now, I could use this piece later. And what I want to do, we're going to be using lots of glue today. I'm actually going to draw on top of all of my objects. Every single recycled object that we use, we're going to actually put glue on it. Okay? And because these objects are not flat like a piece of paper, if you have the caps and the straws, you'll notice they're round, so you're just going to have to place it and leave it. If you keep moving it, it's going to keep sliding. So just leave it alone. It will dry. Okay? Now, what grows from the stem? We talked about it earlier. Do you remember? If you were thinking leaves, very good. So let's go ahead and make some leaves. Now, a real flower, if you had a real flower, would the leaves be man-made or would it be organic? We learned about that word earlier. Very good. Organic means natural. It comes from nature. So real plants, or they are organic. They're natural. Comes from the outdoors. Now, are our leaves going to be organic or man-made? The ones we're making right now. If you were thinking man-made, very good, because plastic doesn't grow outside. It doesn't come from nature. We make this. There we go. All right, so those are my two leaves. Now, so far, let's go over all the parts. We have the stem, the leaves, and the flower petals. I'm thinking we could add one more thing inside of our flower petal. Why don't we put our tiny objects? So what I'm going to do is take some glue and I can show you, just kind of smear. I just drew a little bit, okay? Drew a little bit and smeared it around with my cap. Let's scoop our tiny objects now. I have just a little bit plastic beads. Oops, I think I put too much, but that's okay. This is also what, organic or man-made? Very good, it's man-made. Now, what if you had dried beans or rice? Would that be organic or man-made? That would be organic. Very good, because rice and beans grow. They're plants. All right, now watch. I'm going to turn it upside down, and all the ones that fall off can go back in there, and I am done. Look at that. Oops. I just added a little bit more color. If you wanted to, you could probably put beads or other objects inside of all these petals. You can keep going, but I'm going to stop here. Now, there's one more thing I would like to do. Do you know what that is? If you were thinking, make some grass, you are correct. I would like to show the ground, some grass growing around this flower. And I'm going to use some pink and orange straws to do that. Let's go ahead and start cutting our straws. So I'm just going to show you one. Let's see, one. I'm thinking each straw we can cut 4 times. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. And we could even have some little ones and some big ones. Because the grass is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the same length. 1, 2, 3. Look, I could even do 5. And they kind of fly. So I'm probably cutting about 6 or 8 straws. This is a smaller one, see that? And you just open your scissors and slice. Make sure your fingers are not in the way. Don't ever put your fingers by the mouth of the scissors. I call this the mouth of the scissors. You always want to keep your fingers away. You can see better there. Okay, I have a few more to cut. So just, go ahead and cut all of your straws, some big and some small. Let's see, I think I need to cut maybe, yeah, I kind of like that. I might cut a few more. Maybe I'll get a few more orange, or at least one more. Let's try it. 2 small, a medium. So about 4 or 5 straws. Okay, so now I'm going to push this aside. And remember, because we're gluing recycled objects, you're going to have to put glue on each object, okay? So you make sure I'm going to show you up close for each one. You're going to actually make the bottle cap touch each object. See that? And I just put very little glue. And what I'm going to do is start at the bottom of my paper. I don't want the straw to go past it. And we're going to fill up the whole bottom of our paper with the straws, okay? So if you want to watch me, I can just kind of mix up the colors. Now, you may have lots and lots of different color straws, or even objects that are similar in size and shape. So, and I am going to just gently press these for a few seconds. It takes a little time, but it's going to look really neat with the petals and the stem. You can even hold it like this. I like to have different sizes for the grass. See that? Some tall, some short, some medium. I even have 2 different colors. Now, maybe you only had white straws. Well, you can just glue the white straws. Maybe you had just blue straws. Or maybe you had just green. Maybe you had a whole rainbow, and you can have rainbow grass, because we know that grass is what color? Grass is typically green. In the winter, it may dry up, right? Would grass be a man-made object, or would it be organic? Remember, we talked about that earlier. It would be organic. Very good, because organic means it comes from nature. Very good. It comes from nature. It grows. It's a living organism. There we go. I think I'm going to keep going here with my pink. It's going to take some time. So since we are not using natural objects, we're not using real grass, we are using man-made objects. What material are these straws made of? Plastic. Very good. So let's just be a little silly and make some pink and orange grass. Why not? We can still learn and make art at the same time while being a little bit silly, huh? It's kind of fun to see grass that looks orange and pink. Can you imagine if we had real grass that was orange and pink? So we get to make it with art. This is coming out super neat. I like it. I like how my grass even matches my stem and part of my petal. Can you see? You know, I'm just adding very little glue. Just a thin, and you're going to get the hang of gluing. Now, maybe when you first squeezed that bottle of glue, a bunch of glue came out and you made a big old mess and you had to wipe your hands, and I'm sure that happened, and it will. But this, gluing one thing at a time, is going to teach you not to squeeze so hard, because by pressing the bottle is, you know, it affects how much comes out. And then every bottle's different. You ever notice that? Some bottles, the glue just doesn't want to come out. So you just have to get the swing of it. Now, I'm going to put a little more pink, I think. I am, about halfway done. I think I might be able to squeeze in one more. I'm going to pour that there because I'm going to have a hard time fitting it in. There we go. Remember, you can use your napkin. I think I'm going to use my napkin, and because if your fingers are sticky, what's going to happen? It's going to stick to this, and you're not going to be able to put it. So you might have to take a break and go wash your hands, dry it, and come back. Now I have one side. I'm going to gently press. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I want to finish this side. Now, if I am going too fast and you are watching the video of me making this, you can always pause it at any time, okay? And if you're watching, and maybe you're not watching me from a video, maybe you're watching me from TV, well then, this is all I'm gonna do. This is it. Once I'm finished with the grass, my picture will be done, and you can let it dry and look at it in your home. So this is the last step of my project today. I'm really liking how my recycled flower is coming out. I like the bright colors of all of my man-made objects. It looks like I might have to cut one more straw. I think I cut 6, maybe 7. I'm not sure. So maybe 8 straws were needed altogether. That's not too many. But yeah, this is neat. Let's see. So it takes time, but if you like making art, then you're gonna have fun doing this. And I like the different colors too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to cut maybe one more straw and I'll have enough. I'm actually getting better at doing this. I'm noticing that I'm going faster, and you see how I got some glue on my fingers. So definitely keep your napkin handy. And I could kind of push, you see how I can push this down and make sure everything lines up. I want to put some more orange. Look, all I have is 2 pink ones left. So I'm going to cut a few pieces off of an orange straw. And they just kind of flew everywhere. All right. So now I can finish. I like the different sizes of the straws, meaning if it's short, medium, or tall. Yep, I'm gonna put a pink one here, and I am almost done. Let's put maybe, let's see, yep, I can fit 2 more. I'm gonna put an orange, and I'm gonna try to squeeze in a pink. And you know, if you can only fit the orange, that's fine. You don't have to go all the way to the end like I did. Alrighty. Okay, that looks great. I can throw these little pieces away or use them for something else. Now I'm gonna take my hand and just gently press for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's a trick to even clean your glue bottle. You can take your napkin and you put it on top of the cap, twist it closed, so then you get the glue off and your glue bottle is closed. Very good. I really like how my silly flower came out with all of my man-made plastic recycled objects, and it looks so cool, and you could see all the parts of a flower too. I think you did a great job as well. Thank you for joining me today. We will be posting a new lesson every day at 10 a.m. on the Acadiana Center for the Arts YouTube channel for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grades, each tied into the academic curriculum. You can also get these lessons on AOC as part of the Learn United program. which is accessible on Cox Channel 16 or LUS Channel 4. Kindergarten lessons air at 8 a.m. and first and second grade lessons air at 9 a.m. Some lessons will be in visual arts and some lessons will be in creative movement. So be sure to come back and make art with us tomorrow. If you are interested in supporting programs like this, visit the Acadiana Center for the Arts.org, which is the nonprofit organization who manages this PACE program. Spread the word, share our videos, and keep making art. If you want more, you can book me for a private online lesson. My email is below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.